Hi, Storytimers. It's me, Donna V, and I'm so excited to be here today with a special reading just for you. It's an amazing book that my friends wrote and illustrated, and it's called Douglas. And I think you're going to love it. I read it during story time on Sunday, December 6th. So if you want to see it read live, well, replayed, you can go back and look at that on YouTube or Facebook under Donna V Comedy or Storytime with Donna V. Check it out. It was a great episode. But just for you guys, this is Douglas. Here we go. By Joseph Carney, art by Natty Bumpercar, forward by Pamela Ray Schuler, edited by Eric Slagle. Oh my God, look how cute that little tree is. That is so cute. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. All right, if you have your copy, read along. Here we go. Joe Carney is one of those people who can make you feel safe, important, and special, all while making you laugh so hard it hurts. It's true. I've been in his presence. I wish the world were full of millions of Joes. We would all be lucky enough to know one. I am. My work in inclusion and comedy has taken me all over the world, but some of my favorite inclusion conversations have happened right in my backyard with Joe, a 7-foot-tall, give or take, tattooed plumber from New Jersey. Inclusion is who Joe is. It's in his bones. He wants every kid to know that they have a place in this world, to believe their differences make them amazing and that they matter. This whimsical tale of a tree who feels different is a reflection of that. It's pure joy and love all wrapped up in a Christmas bow. It's Joe's gift to all of us. Pamela Ray Schuler, comedian, speaker, and disability advocate. She's pretty awesome too. I've actually driven her to a gig. She fits in my Beetle nicely. Sometimes a small tree on a small farm in a small town can teach us a big lesson if we listen. This book is dedicated to my wife and my children. Thanks to them, the bell still rings. And to every kid who thinks they don't fit in, you are perfect. You'll see. Made with love. That's awesome. Since the first day he popped his little head through the dirt, Douglas knew he wanted to be the best Christmas tree he could possibly be. Even as a little sapling, Douglas spread good thoughts and Christmas cheer to all the other trees, plants, poinsettias, garland, wreaths, and holly bushes on Maggie's farm. Carol, the holly bush, loved when Douglas exclaimed how festive and bright her berries were. "You're going to be the best centerpiece ever," Douglas would shout whenever he spotted her. He knew that Bruce had the best smelling pine on the farm. Douglas would holler, "Is it Christmas morning already? I love the pine, Bruce, love it." The poinsettias grew in perfect rows of red and white. They would giggle when Douglas would make a big deal about how beautiful they were. "Oh, you look like candy canes, ladies. It's not Christmas without candy canes." They felt magical. Douglas made everyone feel special and festive and happy. He made the Christmas season perfect. Douglas had every reason to not be as happy and kind and festive as he was, though. He was planted in the corner of the farm, a little too close to an old split rail fence. It wasn't really noticeable at first. But as Douglas grew, his branches got caught on the fence and broke off. Some got stuck on the fence and were bent in all different directions. When he was all finished growing, he had some missing branches, some bent branches, and a big old bare spot right where he got smushed against the rails. But with all the things that he was missing, Christmas spirit wasn't one. Christmas season is always magical, special on Maggie's farm. But this year was going to be a little more magical with Douglas around. Come here, Yogi. Now the busy season has arrived. Thanksgiving was over and the Christmas season had officially begun. Douglas was close to the road alongside the farm. He could hear Christmas music blasting from the cars driving by on Brookside Place as they made their way to Maggie's farm. Those songs made Douglas happier and happier. All the joy and laughter from families on the farm just made Douglas more and more excited. Soon, I'll be sharing Christmas in a warm home, surrounded by friends and family, Douglas thought. Everyone singing songs, exchanging gifts, drinking hot chocolate. Could it get any better? But not everyone that stopped by the farm shared Douglas's brand of Christmas spirit. Some of the birds and squirrels wandering through took notice of how different Douglas was from the other trees on the farm. They would point out his bent branches and laugh at his bare spots. Douglas didn't like the way they made him feel. They would call him names like Broccoli Head and Broom Face. Ugh. Not nice. Some of the birds would pretend to perch on his branches that weren't there. As they fell to the ground laughing, Douglas would try to laugh along with them so they wouldn't pick on him anymore. It didn't work. Douglas would hang his head and wish he wasn't so different. Douglas could not understand how anyone could be so mean. The other trees would stick up for Douglas and chase the birds away. Don't let them bring you down, Douglas, Bruce would say. We all need you and your holiday spirit. They're just jealous because you're always happy, Holly told him. Douglas knew he was different, but he didn't want to be known as the broken tree. He just wanted to be a Christmas tree. Every day, families would wander through the huge maze of trees looking for the perfect one. Children would rush to Douglas and hold him up. This one, they would shout out with excitement. He was just their size. Spin him around, parents would say. Let's have a look. And then, no thank you. Look at all those missing branches. This one's no good. Douglas would try to fluff up his branches or stretch his pines, straighten up every time he heard someone coming, but it never worked. He wasn't perfect. Day after day, his friends on the farm would get picked. Douglas would cheer for them and give them a high pine as they went by, always wishing them a Merry Christmas. Bruce was one of the first to go. Thanks for the pine cones, Bruce. Merry Christmas, big fella, Douglas hollered. Keep him smiling. Ooh, keep him smelling good. We'll miss you. One by one, the Candy Cane sisters got scooped up to be part of the perfect family Christmas picture or decorate a family's front porch. Go get 'em, ladies. Show 'em what a beautiful Christmas looks like. See y'all when I get there. The days went on, and Christmas grew closer and closer, and Douglas never lost hope that his day would come. Look how cute. Aw. Families would drive by and back again with one of his friends on the roof rack. Douglas would wave and give one last cheer as they sped off to get decorated in their new home. Families would stop at the farm stand for some hot chocolate and fresh hot cinnamon donuts to bring for their walk through the rows and rows of trees, looking for the perfect one. Douglas would wink at his friends as people would stop to look them over. They would say, "Ooh, look how tall this one is." And Douglas would stand up straight. Or, "Look how full this one is." And Douglas would puff out his branches. They would come and go and always leave Douglas behind. The days flew by and the maze grew smaller and smaller, but Douglas never got chosen. Before he knew it, it was Christmas Eve. The staff and farmers at Maggie's farm sang songs and exchanged gifts while wishing each other Merry Christmas. Then they prepared to go home to their families and wait for Santa. Douglas looked around. All of his friends were gone. No more wonderful smells of pine. No more candy cane rows to brighten the farm. Douglas thought, Bruce must be so excited and Carol must look so beautiful on someone's dining room table. Douglas was content. He knew that he had done what he set out to do. Spread joy and Christmas spirit. The sky was perfect and clear, just right for Santa's journey. The air was filled with the smell of fireplaces and Christmas feasts. It was beautiful. And then Douglas heard it. A family car full of music and laughter. Sorry, getting choked up. A family car full of music and laughter. The car radio played one of his favorite carols from NSYNC. Douglas loved boy bands. Then the music stopped and the night was quiet again, but only for a moment. Just as Douglas started to settle in and watch the night sky, he smelled hot chocolate and heard the sound of children running and laughing. There was a family walking through the farm. They sounded excited, even a little nervous. "I knew we shouldn't have waited," said a child's voice. It sounded like they were moving further away, closer to the front of the farm. Then he could hear their father. "Describe it again. How tall was it?" "There aren't any trees left," yelled one of the children. "That was the only one that we loved. I wish Dad had..." Sorry. "There aren't any trees left," yelled one of the children. "That was the only one that we loved. I wish Dad didn't have to work late." "I'm sorry, guys," the father said. "I wish we found it." The voices started to get lower and farther away. "Over here!" yelled an overjoyed child. It startled the needles off Douglas. "It's here! Right here! Here it is! I told you we'd find it!" Douglas was so excited, he didn't know whether to stand up straight or puff out his branches or spread out his needles. Dad scooped up Douglas from where he was leaning against the old shed wall. alongside the walkway leading to the mulch pile, stood him up, and spun him around. That family saw something in Douglas that no one else saw in all the weeks he stood in the cold waiting for someone to love him. They saw the perfect piece to complete their Christmas puzzle. That family took a breath, a satisfied, relieved breath, and all whispered at once, "Perfect. Just perfect." Perfect? Me? Thought Douglas. The father scooped Douglas over his shoulder and walked through the farm back to the parking lot. They all helped get him up on top of the car, and Dad tied him down. Not too tight, but secure. How did this all happen? Douglas wondered as he drove through the town on the top of his own family car. Look, he's smiling. The winter wind felt amazing through his branches, and the stars never looked brighter. Church bells rang, families hurried through the town with last-minute gifts, and the smell of cookies being baked for Santa all made for the best Christmas journey home. Home. As the car pulled into the driveway, Douglas spotted some old friends. 4 candy cane sisters lined the front porch, and garland wound around the staircase up to the front door. Mom and Dad, with some help from the kids, carried Douglas up the steps into the house and straight into the living room. Then, there in the corner, beside the fireplace, next to the stockings, and to the side of the front window where the children spied for St. Nick, was the most perfect place for Douglas to stand. Because of where the fireplace was, a big full tree would have dried out and burned up. That front window would have been blocked for Santa watch if a wider tree stood there. Douglas stood proud. He felt like a perfect little puzzle piece that had just been found. The stockings didn't have to be rearranged on the chimney, and the children didn't have to spy for Santa out the back window. With all of his little imperfections, he wasn't missing branches and he wasn't bent. All the little things that had made him different made him perfect. He fit. Thank you for reading Douglas, A Christmas Tale.